Kia ora, tēnā koutou, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Thaumcraft 4.2 with Birdtross. Today we are outside in the vast wilderness that is Minecraft. I have travelled a little bit further in the same direction that I travelled in I can't remember what episode it was, the episode number, but we encountered the Crimson Cult working on one of the obelisks that dots the landscape. I've travelled a little bit further, and I have found something that is pretty interesting. I was actually looking for a jungle biome, but we came across something a little bit more interesting. So for those who don't know, this is a taint biome, I think. I don't have too much experience with this myself, but I know that it's something to do with Thaumcraft and something to do with taint. So I'm guessing it's just a plain old taint biome. I haven't gone over there yet. I just sort of seen it from a distance and I figured, yeah, I've got to turn the recording on. So yeah, I'm just kind of out here. I'm running low on potentia. I just filled this guy back up. Yeah, so we've got enough potentia to make it back, don't worry. I've just had to bonk a chest down to get rid of some of the junk. I was mainly coming out here for dark oak as well. I didn't have enough saplings to make some dark oak, and I've got a bunch of loot here as well. So yeah, I think what we're going to start off today's episode by doing is going and checking out this taint biome. So there are 48 aspects in the vanilla game of Thaumcraft, and we only know 47 of them. The final one is taint. You guys have been telling me in the comments whenever I talk about it in these episodes. So what I'm hoping happens when I head into this taint biome and start scanning some stuff, we're going to hopefully come across the taint aspect. I can see an aura node that's inside this biome, but it doesn't look like it's tainty in nature. Let's get Scanny out and have a look. Okay. Oh, it's got Praecantatio inside it, or Praecantatio, depending on who we talk to today. It's a modest node. It's not the biggest that I've ever seen. Well, everything is very purple. It just appears to be some sort of filter on the ground. It doesn't look like it's actually changed the leaf type or anything like that. So maybe we're going to have to look around for some more tainty stuff, and it looks like we found that right off the bat. Here we have fibrous taint. I guess when we scan that, hey-yo, there we go. So we've got one Victus and one, that's the new aspect of Vitium. I guess if we're speaking Latin, or just a Vitium in a Western accent. Very cool. And then that's some sort of growth on top of the taint right there. Can I pick this up at all with the plain hand? No. Oh, excuse me, no. That just seems to just completely destroy it, and I'm guessing I'll destroy this, so maybe I can grab it with my silk touch. No, that appears to have completely destroyed that as well, even though that was a silk touchiness. Looks like they've got some slightly different ground right here. Oh, okay. So this is a fibrous taint on top of the grass blocks. And this one's actually got a little bit of a purple glow to it. Is it any different? Let's see if I can silk touch this. No. So that just completely vanishes. Doesn't seem to be particularly harmful in any way. Oh, hold on. Looks like this fibrous taint can grow on the trees as well. Oh. Squelch. Squelching through the ground. Hello. Whoa. What on earth is that? It's a taint swarm. Okay, it's got Vitium, and we discovered a new research clue. Alright, let's kill that guy. Nice little effects as the stuff pops onto the ground. That was pretty cool. Doesn't seem to have dropped anything useful. Here comes another taint swarm. Oh, hello, what's that? That block is turning red. What's this? This is a taint spore spawn? No. Oh, man. Painful. Let's have a look at that. Okay. So that's got a bunch of Vitium inside it as well. Cursed? Crusted taint. Whoa. Okay, so this is just spawning these things, and it looks like I've destroyed that. Okay, you guys back up. Oh, hello. A dissolving tainted goo has infected me with taint. I'm guessing that's what this stuff is. Tainted goo. It only dissolves, does it? I see. So this tainted goo's got limus and wheatium inside. That's actually a pretty cool picture there for the taint aspect. Pretty awesome. I didn't take a look at this crusted taint, so let's try that. That's got arbor and, oh man, taint poison. Okay, so having these things in your inventory is actually kind of unhealthy. So I guess we'll just put that down on the ground for a bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and have a look at what the combination for wheatium is, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. So it's... okay, so it's a pre-contatio perditio. I guess that kind of makes sense. When you destroy magic, you get the opposite of magic, which is taint, I suppose. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, holding on to these is probably not the best idea, but against my better judgment. We've got a taint spore. Wow. Okay. Oh! Tainted crawler. Okay. Looks like we actually need to heal up a bit. And get a heal job. Did I just hear some badness? What were those guys? I didn't take a look at the name properly. We'll have to check that in editing. That was pretty interesting. And that broke that thing. Okay, and it looks like that tainted poison thing has also just given me taint poison again. Okay, can I actually break any of this? Oh, there we go, I got a block of it. So let's see if this crusted taint will cause some problems for our inventory as well. Oh, there we go. It looks like it actually is eating the blocks here. We've got a greatwood tree over here. Perhaps these are immune to the taintiness. Am I getting attacked by something? No, it's just... being in the vicinity of something was not a good idea. I've got some apples right here that I'm picking up for some reason. Wow. This taint is actually it's quite vast. And I imagine that at some point it will change all of these trees, I'm guessing, into full-on the crusted taint stuff that was happening to that other tree. It doesn't actually look like this particular taint biome is too big, but yeah, that's what's going on here. So we discovered the final aspect, wheatium. I'm actually kind of excited to... let's see if we can break that. How strong is it? We've got potency 4 on this guy, and chain lightning, so that was not easy to kill. Get out of town. So we've got ourselves a pretty decent node here. Oh, Portentia in there. That's a first for those. Cool. Oh, it looks like we've got more tainted artifacts. But no, but we know that those are dangerous. What about this thing over here? This is a taint tendril. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's get a scanny out and have a look. So that's got Farmes Lucrum and, of course, Wheatium. Kinda makes sense. Did something just happen there? I think this this taint stuff is spreading. It's kind of like the corruption in Terraria, I'm guessing. I wonder if the water will stop the taint spread. I'm assuming that taint can spread. Let's just check that biome. It is tainted land. I see. So that's the biome type. And we've got more of these taint swarm thingies. Let's just cleverly dodge around them. Yeah, there's just a lot of this stuff around. Hello? What's going on here? Something happening here that I should know about? I'm guessing this is just a flux that's kind of occurred on the ground. Okay, back off, guys. Don't stand in the taint. I've got the flux flu. Oh, that's not a good sign. Yeah, you gotta be a bit careful. Oh, a taint tendril has infected me with taint. That's not good. You gotta be careful around this taint stuff. If you're not careful, it's just gonna destroy you, but looks like this crusted taint thing hasn't caused any problems. Looks like we've spent an entire day here looking at this taint biome. I'll have to quickly get a decent thumbnail for the episode before heading back to the main base. This is actually quite nice, isn't it? Let's do something like that. Screenshot. There we go. Awesome. So now I'm going to head... probably what I should do next is actually just check if we actually We did get a new clue to a new research. I don't think it's going to be in here, and I think we researched everything that was in here as well. Let's just have a look around. Where is it? Searching live. Oh, here we go. Bottled taint. Why would you want that? We'll go ahead and research that at some point, but I think what we need to do is head back to base and get to work on the alchemy lab. Welcome back to base. This is what we were working on last time. This system that can intelligently detect how much charcoal that we have, rather, in the system. I've got a little bit more in here than I normally do. And it'll turn off this golem up here. He's on top of a golem feta, and he's putting his wood into here, and that charcoal is coming out of this mirror here. We're still getting a decent amount of wood here. This is how much this chest is filled up. But don't worry about the space there, because we have all these other chests here for wood storage, so that's only a tiny amount in comparison to what we can actually store. But yeah, these 4 trees over here have actually been doing work. By the way, I have one of my lamps of growth. I've got a second lamp of growth now. I have one set up here with just a bottled supply of herba. And that is enough to get these things going. It will work on saplings, by the way. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at the redstone that I've done in the background as well. So this is it right here. Let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. We have the redstone comparator here to pump out a redstone signal depending on how many items are in the chest. It'll get stronger and stronger and stronger until it triggers the note block, which will turn the arcane air off and stop the system from running. Now, the problem with that is that when this depowers, it won't actually return this thing on, which is why I needed to have a falling edge pulse former, which is what this thing is over here, in case you were wondering. So basically that means that when this thing loses the redstone signal, this torch will turn off and turn this torch off, and basically it'll make a very short pulse, which will then trigger the note block and turn the system back on. And of course when it goes back up again, this will turn this back on, and you know, so it works. That's basically all that we really need to know here, is that the system now works. Could I have done this a little bit differently and just plugged this into the T flip-flop? Probably. Probably a little bit too much work to go to. Maybe I could salvage the arcane air, but it's there now, so, and I'm a bit too lazy to change it now, so there. I want to go ahead and set up a new harvestable crops farm over here today. I've got some basic blocks stored out here. I've got the stone bricks and I've got the great wood planks. I'm not too happy about the contrast here, but I think that this will do for now, just for demonstration purposes. And I wanted to demonstrate the abilities of the what is this thing called? The wand focus of equal trade a little bit more. So let's go ahead and right click like that. And that's how it works, baby. Oh, okay, it looks like we ran out of great wood planks. I thought we'd have a little bit more. I guess we'll just quickly go and grab some more. Just want to quickly highlight that I'm going to be doing just a little, very quick thing here. I think I saw this on, well, I definitely did see it on, what's his name? Serious Creeper, yes. So he approached me first, and just sort of, I guess he was just sort of putting his name out there as a fellow Thaumcraft YouTuber. He's got about a similar subscriber fan base as me. He's German, so for any German viewers out there interested in Thaumcraft, you've got yourself a new YouTube channel to go ahead and subscribe to. His is a great series. Yeah, and I think this style of design is sort of inspired by him. This is what he likes to do in his builds, and I think that actually looks pretty awesome. So I'm just doing that there. That is in the center, right? It looks like it's the center. And I didn't get any more great wood planks, did I? Even though I said I was going to. Let's head back up here. Ugh. And get some more great wood planks down. Yeah, so here, the discussion has come up on my channel about whether or not I should be doing, sort of adding more mods, the Thaumcraft add-ons, because there are heaps of them. I mean, there are at least 5 or 6 different Thaumcraft add-ons, and even then, even still after that, there are different, what's the word I'm looking for, different mods, such as Botania, and Thaumcraft can kind of interleave a little bit. And I was sort of covering that a little bit in the Mage Quest, I was kind of hoping, but the Mage Quest for me at the moment has fallen off a bit. Really? What's going on here? It's almost as if it's doing stuff down here. Well, there's your problem. Okay, let's get some of these back. Goodness gravy. That explains where all the great wood went. Holy cow, man. How much more is done? I think that's it. Alright, let's get back here. There we go. Okay, so I want to get some red sand down here as well, because we're doing cactus here, by the way. A cactus is a harvestable and replenishable resource of perditio, so I'm hoping to be able to plant down some cactus and use that as my thing. Okay, yeah, that's going to happen, isn't it? Things are going to fall down, so we're going to need to put some blocks down there to stop that from happening. Well, I think I'm just going to go ahead and quickly set the rest of this area up, and I'll probably go ahead and get the golems as well off camera, because you guys have seen that before when I was setting up the hoe of growth, or the lamp of growth over here, which is not wrong, but yeah, pretty much the same thing's going to be happening over here. I'll get the cactus farm set up, and we'll be right back. I'm just in the middle of setting the golems up, and I remembered in the last episode one of you guys let me know about tallow golems, and apparently they are quite speedy little fellas. So let's go ahead and pick up the research note for the tallow golems. You actually have to research this one. It's kind of like a nice grey, pearly white right there. Oh my goodness. This one's going to be permutatio, spiritus, motus. Oh, what is that one? Corpus? Haven't seen that one very often. And praecantatio. Okay, then let's get started with this one. So, permutatio connects to ordo and perditio, and I'm thinking if I can somehow go perditio something else right here. I think wakwas, yes. So if we go wakwas right here, and then we go perditio, that solves that problem, and then we can come out using ordo, and we can somehow connect this up to spiritus. Spiritus is kind of on the darker side of the tree though, isn't it? It does connect to victus, so we could do something like Sano, actually. Yeah, we've got tons of Sano now thanks to potion scanning. Connect that up to victus, but the problem now is that this has to come out via mortuus, and that is not the greatest. Is there anything that actually uses mortuus, rather, not mortuus, mortuus? We might have to break the rule here, unless I can kind of curl around like this, which might also be possible. So let's have a look at corpus. So this uses mortuus, of course it does, and it uses bestia as well. But we have to come out the other side of this one, which is potentia. So let's get that. We're already using ordo, so we have to go ignis. Let's bring this one over. I'm not sure if there's anything that'll directly connect to those two. Let's go back to corpus, back over here. Bestia and mortuus, okay. Okay, we could do something like bestia right here to connect this up. Then we could go panus to connect those two. Where was I going with this? I saw something that I was like, yeah, we could connect those two together. Here we go, machina. So we can go machina, and then we could do instrumentum, like so. There we go. So that connects mortuus to corpus. But how do we connect corpus to ignis? It might not actually be possible. We might actually be able to go through here now that I think about it, using something else. Instrumentum is quite a resourceful one. We're already using ordo. Fabrico. What about humanus? We could actually go through cognitio, actually, so we can go cognitio humanus. That'll solve that problem for us. There we go, and that's only one aspect used of each type. Very nice. Let's have a look at what the tallow golems have to say for themselves. Very cool. Very nice. This advanced golem is only marginally better than a clay golem, but is capable of holding 2 upgrades. Very cool. The speed is average. What's the speed of clay golems? That's also average. Okay. So this one requires a tallow block, which is made from 9 pieces of magic tallow, and then you toss the tallow block into the thing along with 8 of those. Okay. Well, we only really need... See, I've already got a couple of wood golems down there. We might actually just make a third wood golem. Not that we're going to actually use it yet. I've already made 2 wood golems, so... yeah, my personal take on the tallow golem is that it's a bit too expensive and a bit too good for what we need right now. You could use it possibly in the alchemy lab. It just sort of really depends. I'm just trying to think about a way that I can use it, and I'm not nothing's coming to mind immediately, so I think I'm going to hold off on making it for now. I've got a couple of golems in here being made. I thought it was going to be a nice cheap little golem that we could use for the harvest core, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The cactus farm has been set up now. It's pretty much exactly the same as the layout for the tree farm that's over there. We have the 9x9 and it's got 24 cactus lined up here, and we've got the golem in the middle, otherwise it would be 25. So this guy doesn't seem to be quite as quick to get the cactus off there. There he goes. Seems to definitely be a little bit slower. Ow! Yeah, that's one of the downsides to farming cactus, is that sometimes the blocks don't actually survive. It's going to be a minor downside, hopefully once we get a lamp of growth in here, because I do intend to have a lamp of growth in here at some point. This should hopefully minimize that problem. But we do have a reasonable amount of cactus saved up now. I'll actually keep one on me, but let's go ahead and throw the rest of those in there. I've had to spend a bit of time off camera to set up another magic mirror network, so let's take the thermometer, which is, by the way, a renamed Crystalline Bell. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check his temperature. Tell him what he's supposed to do, give him the doctor's orders, prescription. Go ahead and start chucking some cactus in there. And that should be making its way over to the alchemy lab. There it goes, it looks like it's already done already. Oh, we can see the underside of it. Kind of nice and white right there. I've got a wood golem right here setting this up. Oh, no, don't do that. Goodness gravy. And that should be making its way in here, very cool. So by the way, just to recap, in case you're wondering why I did that, just once again, I think I said it already this episode, it's already got Perditio in there, and the Perditio is used to make elementum, and it's renewable, so that's why we're using it. And I've also set up another arcane alembic, and I've got them all jar labelled up. So now all we need to do is find a way to transmit the items from these chests into these things right here, and of course the Thaumatorium itself, and thankfully we can do that using golems. So let's go ahead and set up some empty golems right here on these chests. I don't know if I can set it up right there. That should be okay. Should still be able to interact with the chest even though that's there. Let's get these guys set up. Now I want to tell you, let's take some of this, and let's say I want you to empty some charcoal. I just always want to make sure that I'm doing it properly. Where'd my charcoal go? There it goes. So let's go ahead and set his prescription. We're going to tell him to put his stuff in here and in here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I think he'll only put stuff in... he'll only change inventories if one of them fills up. So he's sticking stuff in there and it's already burning up into charcoal, which is good, I suppose. But I actually want to see if that's taken out. Yeah, so I've already got I've got a single piece of elementum in both of these, by the way, which is why that started up pretty much immediately. If I take that out, and that fills up, I want to see what happens. It looks like that's not going to be the case until these fill up with Essentia, and even then, it's going to start stockpiling in there before it finally fills up there. The golem is on its last trip here to fill up this furnace with this. It's only got 4 there. I wonder what it's going to do now. He does have a second inventory to put things in. Okay, so I was wondering about that. That is working. That's interesting. So you can set an empty golem up to do multiple inventories, but it will only interact with the second one once the first one that is set is filled. I'm just wondering if I want to change the priority on that, because I think the way that I click those does matter. I will have to play it by ear, see how that goes. But let's set up the second guy. And let's tell you, are you set up with the correct item? That's why I left the cactus on me. I want you to take your cactus, and I want you to stick that in here. So that should just take him a couple of seconds. And I guess while there's a little bit of downtime as well, I might as well just go ahead and set up a little bit of a temporary solution just to get the Essentia out of there. And let's do the same back here. There we go. I would like to use this Alba and Aqua at some point for other stuff. I'm thinking of sending the Aqua over to a place where I can make balanced shards. Sounds like a good plan. So I have an item grate down here, and I'm using that to... Okay, what are you doing? Okay, looks like both of those filled up. So are you just kinda gonna fill that up as necessary? Right. It looks like we're actually... problem at the moment is that it's not getting rid of that pale DTO fast enough, is it? No. Maybe I need to make a better golem. A stone golem would probably be better, and we're out of cactus now. So there are some bottlenecks in the situation at the moment. But yeah, I wonder what your problem is. I've got Phil down there, who's now a empty golem, ironically. I kinda like the idea of naming him Phil. What's up with you, man? What's going on? Can you not reach those? I thought you could. I did some testing, and you can reach those. Looks like he's not putting Elementum in there. He is set up to do stuff in there. I thought you could reach that. I might have to mess around with this glass a little bit. I was hoping to be able to just set this up. Okay, maybe what I have to do is... Let's just do something like this for now. So, where did you stick that? Okay. Right, so that's going in there. But that's all the Elementum that we have at the moment, because that was all of the... What's going on here? Okay, so we're doing cactus at the moment. But it literally just can't exit this thing fast enough. It looks like we found a bit of a bottleneck in this system. I'll have to keep that in mind. And of course this is making a ridiculous amount of Elba, which is a perfect fuel for our lamp of growth, so we can feed this back into the system. But that is going to have to be in a future episode, because I think we're all out of time for today. This is probably going to be a pretty long episode. There are still some things to work on over here. We've got to get Phil working with these inventories properly. We're probably just going to have to end up sticking some blocks down there for him to jump on, which kinda sucks. Maybe some half slabs actually might work. We'll try that out next time. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Thaumcraft 4.2 of Birdtross. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Kia kaha. And I'll see you in the next video. Hey there folks, just wanted to provide a quick update here on the end of the episode. I did decide to throw in the lamp of growth, and I've added in an enormously long tube network that goes way over to the alchemy lab. It's kind of spanning over all the farms here, which I think is actually pretty cool. And it comes and hooks all the way into this Elba tank. Let's go ahead and get the tuning fork out, wherever that is. There we go. Really? Suction 0. Okay, it looks like something different happened, because when I was doing this just before, the system was working just fine. It looks like, my guess is that these tanks are filled up, so the system is actually producing more Elba than it's using at the moment, which is really cool. So it looks like we've sorted out the bottleneck in the system just by throwing in a lamp of growth. I've also thrown in some stairs here just to get the guy going. It turns out the slabs weren't enough. He has to have a full block. I'm not sure if the stairs are going to help. We'll have to see. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Kia kaha, and I'll see you in the next video for real this time.